mainly because I can't survive without meat.
Can't survive.
I cannot survive
like a
without
desert
it.
island scenario for you every day.
It is.
Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. So I'm sure by now most of you guys have already heard about this most recent episode of Jubilee. You know that show where they get like one person to debate like 20 people who are against them? Well, this time they got, strangely enough, in my case, I consider myself one, a vegan philosopher. In this case, Jack Symes. I've never heard of him, but he's actually quite well known. He's been on Joe Rogan and stuff like that. And being that I'm a vegan philosopher myself, I'm pretty sure that my response to this Jubilee video is going to be pretty different from pretty much everyone else's response you're going to see coming from the vegan community. Specifically, I'm going to show you the bad faith that most of these participants brought to the discussion with Jack. Most of them had no intention of engaging with anything he said, any of his arguments, any of his questions, trying to deflect from questions he asked. And let's just jump right in with the first person he talked to.
Quick example, and then I'll let you jump in.
Please.
A broiler chicken exists for 6 weeks. As soon as it's born, it has its beak clipped off with a guillotine. It's so fast that its organs fail, its legs break under its own weight. It goes blind because of the toxins in its own feces. And then it has its throat slit alongside. I think that's an extreme amount of pain and suffering for what is trivial pleasure, which is the taste on your lips. Would you agree?
So Jack just asked a very direct question specifically about animal suffering. So let's see how his opponent responds.
Well, I'll say that all of civilization is about chasing triviality.
Notice how this dude's deflecting. He did not engage with Jack's question. His answer has nothing at all to do with animals suffering.
I think that
You know,
suffering...
on that, do you think that's too much suffering for the...
I would definitely also say that suffering is inevitable and it's essential.
Again, he's not responding to Jack's question. Do you think that is too much suffering?
It's inevitable, but you can minimize it, right? Is there too much there?
So as an emergency medicine doc...
Dodge! I mean, is this guy trying out for a spot on the world champion Dodgers?
who takes care of suffering all the time...
I'm happy to talk about that, but if you can just say, is that too much suffering imparted onto the chicken?
And kudos to Jack here for not backing off on his question dodger here, forcing this guy to answer a question that he obviously doesn't want to answer, because as you see here, his answer is totally whack.
Whatever
it takes to sustain 8 billion people across the world, I would say is
well,
not
it's easier
trivial.
to sustain 8 billion people without having animal agriculture.
It's possible.
So first the guy's saying it's absolutely necessary to kill animals to sustain 8 billion people, and now he's saying, well, maybe it's possible. Let's see which it really is. Basically, if the world adopted a plant-based diet, we would reduce global agricultural land use from 4 billion to 1 billion hectares. So it's not only possible, it's actually easier to feed 8 billion people if we were all to eat plants. But anyway, let's find his next bad faith opponent.
I have an azalea, and when I don't give it enough light, that thing dies, so it feels it. Plants have feelings too.
Oh my God, just like Piers Morgan and Joe Rogan, we have another blessed plant activist.
Right. Do you think we should reduce the amount of pain that plants are experiencing?
Yes, we should. Plants matter.
And Jack brings up a brilliant response, showing a study that proves how if we didn't have to feed all these animals that we're consuming, we'd have to grow fewer plants and there would be fewer plant deaths. But facts don't matter to people like her. Just went right over her, and here's how she responded.
When I go and don't give my fern enough light, it feels. Okay, when I don't give it any water, it feels.
So yeah, another bad faith opponent who absolutely refused to engage with anything he said, just stuck to what she said from earlier, just reiterated it a second time.
I do it mainly because I can't survive without meat.
Can't survive.
I cannot survive
like a
without
desert
it.
island scenario for you every day.
It is.
Really, a carnivore person who claims that she medically cannot survive without meat. Well, I've been doing this channel since 2013. We just had our 13-year anniversary, and I have yet to hear of any medical condition that requires a person to eat meat or else they'll die. But I'm not a medical doctor, but let's hear her out with an open mind.
I have gastroesophagus reflux disease, and so I cannot eat a vegetarian or vegan diet. I will literally get very, very sick.
Gastroesophageal reflux disease. You've probably heard it before, more commonly referred to as GERD, which makes her claim extremely doubtful because it's been long known by science that a vegan diet is actually helpful for people with GERD. It's associated with a lower risk of GERD-related symptoms. To further fact check her claim that it's impossible for her to survive without meat, I asked my 26 billion parameter large language model running locally on my Mac Studio. Don't worry guys, there's no data centers or water or anything like that. Can a person with GERD follow a well-planned vegan diet? And yes, a person with GERD can absolutely follow a well-planned vegan diet. In fact, because many plant-based foods are high in fiber, which can aid in digestion and prevent the constipation that often exacerbates reflux, a vegan approach can sometimes be very beneficial. And it gives some cautions, avoiding specific irritants while focusing on soothing low-acid, non-triggering foods. So her assertion that it's impossible for her to be vegan or she'll die because of her GERD is extremely bad faith. It goes completely against the scientific consensus. But it gets worse. She claims, well, even if I were vegan, it would be impossible for me to get all the nutrients and the protein that I need.
What was it you were missing?
Mainly protein.
Oh, well, she's got us there. We all know that it's absolutely impossible to get enough protein on a vegan diet, right, guys?
I cannot consume enough protein from vegetation that I need to get it from meat.
Once again, what she's saying completely contradicts the scientific consensus, and furthermore, Jack lets her know. But, all in all, he's just wasting his breath because she's not going to change her opinion because facts don't matter. Why? Because she's engaging in bad faith.
There's a study by Miguel Lopez, a big one yet last year, that looks at over 8,000 papers and found there was no difference in terms of protein intake and upper body strength, lower body strength, and overall body strength. I'm always surprised to meet somebody who says that, this just doesn't work.
I mean, this is Jack's lucky day. It's like he won the lotto. He found like the only person alive on planet Earth who has GERD who can't survive on a vegan diet because they can't get enough protein. All these things are not supported by science. Completely bad faith. And let's move on to the next bad faith opponent.
You can have sex and it was unethical, non-consensual, but it was great. Or you can have the consensual sex and it's not quite as good. Which one do you pick?
So Jack just asked a very direct question, either A or B, which is it, to test this person's sense of morality. Let's see this person engage fully with Jack's question.
Probably a cheeseburger. I think...
Absolutely not. That was not one of the two options in this moral dilemma.
Well, the ethical one, but I would
That's a
choose a
good call.
cheeseburger over sex any day.
So a person who admits openly to the entire world that would rather eat a cheeseburger than have sex, I'll just let it stay there.
See these two here? These are opposable thumbs. We evolved these in order to hunt better.
It's crazy, all the unfact-checked fantasies that people have about eating meat. I mean, I just did a quick fact check once again on my local AI. No, humans did not evolve opposable thumbs for hunting specifically.
These two pair of legs, bipedal. We are bipedal to become better hunters.
And no, we did not evolve bipedal legs to become better hunters. Once again, it's much more complicated, like the opposable thumbs are.
Our entire existence as human species has been around eating meats. And
I mean, no, the scientific consensus doesn't bear that out. He tries to make it so black and white, and it's not quite like that. But let's just give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say it were true. Like, why does it matter now? I mean, I'm sure like 98 or 99% of the human population, he's not hunting. He's buying food from a store or a restaurant or something. People are just trying to find any excuse. They're grasping. They just like to find anything that makes it seem like it's justified for them to continue exploiting and killing and eating animals.
From my experience and the research I've done,
Uh-oh, watch out. This guy is a researcher.
you need at least some animal product to survive. Because
I mean, that's completely absurd. If you were right, me and Jack and most people watching our channel should be dead. I haven't had any animal products since 2010. Like how long does it take to die from a vegan diet? What research has he done? Just like watching carnivore videos on YouTube? I mean, let's look at the opinion of health organizations from around the world who have actually reviewed the scientific literature, and they make it clear that a well-planned vegan diet is nutritionally adequate for all people. But anyway, this misinformed dude really thinks he's done his research, and here is his slam dunk evidence that shows totally convincingly that you will die if you follow a vegan diet.
Zhana Somosonova, she was a Russian vegan influencer that died at the age of 39. Her own family members say that she died of malnourishment and low energy.
I mean, this is completely bad faith. What this influencer was doing, and I talked about this when it came out because all the anti-vegans jumped on it, was not a vegan diet. They're doing an extreme form of raw veganism and fasting and eating only one foods. It's akin to some kind of eating disorder, anorexia, and there's nothing inherently eating disordered about eating a well-planned vegan diet that gets you sufficient calories, which this person wasn't doing. So to pick on an anorexic and blame that she died on veganism is completely wrong. I mean, if I had the same bad faith intentions as this dude, I could say eating meat is going to make you die because there are people who eat meat who have eating disorders. Complete bad faith. I'm noticing my video's starting to get kind of long. I had a few more clips prepared to respond to, but I think you already get the point. Most of these people came to the debate not to learn something, not to engage openly. They had a fixed opinion and they weren't prepared to or willing to engage with anything that Jack said, not answer the questions, not actually respond to the scientific evidence that Jack presents, just repeat their opinions, their non-evidence-based opinions, and just, feel comfortable that those horrible opinions are their justifications, so they feel good about themselves, that they continue participating in animal cruelty and exploitation. So yeah, these Jubilee debates, no matter what the topic, they're usually, it's a joke. It's really hard to really get down and have an honest, open, engaging discussion just by the nature of the format. But anyway, this was a fine video. If you want to watch the whole thing, I highly recommend it. I saw the whole thing. It was really entertaining. So anyway, that's it for me today. So if you thought everything I said was wrong and you thought these people who engaged in complete bad faith are actually great in good faith, let me know. Come to my Friday live stream, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Be a decent human, which might be tough for you, and maybe we can have a conversation. So I'll see you guys all then. So hit like, share this video, do all this nice stuff, and remember, until then, just like being vegan.